The National Government Constituency Development Fund continued to be an issue of contention, with the National Assembly now embarking on a process to anchor the fund into the Constitution. The bill, co-sponsored by Matungulu Member of Parliament Stephen Mule and his Kishungu counterpart Robert Gishumu, is pushing for the re-establishment of the fund and its anchoring into the law to avert disruptions on technicalities of the law. The legislators argue that the Supreme Court overstepped its mandate in declaring the fund unconstitutional.
It is important for Kenyans to understand that when members of parliament speak of needing the CDF, they do not need it for themselves. With or without the CDF, the members of parliament have their salaries. And in fact, without the CDF, the workforce, the task is reduced. But Mr. Speaker, as we speak today, every day, and I'm sure I speak for all the members here, we get no less than 100 phone calls of children who are at home because they cannot get bursaries. So it is not the members who are suffering, it is the people. I want to announce, Mr. Speaker, that the one thing that unites Kenyans, and I had the privilege to write this constitution, everywhere we went, the one thing people supported was the CDF. And I will explain why we did not entrench it at the time. And I think we were wrong. We should have entrenched it at that time.
The Speaker, I want to say, without mixing my words, that every item of the budget of this government, if it is not anything centering around the NG-CDF and the NGAF funding, it will not be able to reach to the Wanjiko. I know we've got other initiatives that the government want to use to be able to reach to the people, the ASLA fund and the rest. This is the only fund, Mr. Speaker, that touches the lives of the persons at the ground.
They castigated the judiciary, arguing that it was playing double standards, saying the ruling was made on the Constituencies Development Fund Act 2013 and not the 2015 Act.
Today, if we don't have CDF, this marginalization would go to the regions that have not supported a particular government. These are the people who are representing the electorate and their children and their families and everything. So this NG-CDF, in fact, I remember a parent telling me, if they block it, tell all of us Kenyans to come out to the street because they know how they benefit or the children benefit.
Katika katiba. Mheshimiwa Spika, isingekuwa ni hazina hii, Mheshimiwa Spika, sijui Magarini ingekuwa wapi. Mheshimiwa Spika, wakati nilipochukua hatamu ya uongozi mwaka wa 2003, Mheshimiwa Spika, tulikuwa na shule mbili za upili. Shule mbili pekee.
This comes as the judiciary, led by Chief Justice Martha Koome, has continued to insist that the fund is unconstitutional.
Mr. Speaker, there are projects which had been earmarked in the education sector in terms of improvement of school infrastructure, vital facilities such as laboratories and libraries, Mr. Speaker, vital facilities such as police stations and police posts all over the country, which have either stalled or have not taken off as a result of this stalemate on NG-CDF. So, Speaker, if you look at the impact NG-CDF has made in the lives of ordinary Kenyans across the country, you would agree with me that anybody putting roadblocks on the path of NG-CDF, anybody trying to outlaw NG-CDF, anybody trying to make NG-CDF in operation, anybody trying to make NG-CDF not to come into operation, Mr. Speaker, is essentially an enemy of the people. There can be no greater enemy of the people than that person who is trying to sabotage NG-CDF.
The Use for Fund started in September after the former Treasury Cabinet Secretary Ukur Yatani announced that the government will not release the funds allocated to the kitty following the Supreme Court ruling.